We head to Liberty National in Jersey City for the Barclays and the first of 4 playoff events. We invite you along for the preview. I'm Lauren Shehadi along with CBSSports.com golf columnist Steve Elling. He joins us now. Steve, 125 players in the playoffs, including Tiger. Now, New Jersey doesn't love Tiger. His best finish on Garden State soil, tied for 4th in 2005. That was the year he won the British Open and the Masters. What can we expect from him this time around, Steve?
It looks like the guy's getting ready to piece together one of those second-half runs that he's been doing for, I guess about the last 5 years, not including last year, of course, when he missed the whole second half after the surgery. But, everybody's kind of waiting to see how he's going to react and respond to, that big defeat at the PGA a couple of weekends ago. So, it was a scenario and a situation that nobody envisioned, a scenario and a situation that he'd never experienced. So consequently, everybody's kind of waiting to see whether he's going to just jump right back into the winner's circle or certainly into the contention circle this week. It's a little difficult to say what to expect from him. Obviously, he's finished first, and second in his last 3 starts, and that's a pretty ominous sign and pretty conclusive proof that he's getting ready to reel off one of those second-half runs. But he's never played this golf course. It's now Wednesday. He's showing up today to play in the Pro-Am, and that'll be the only look he gets at this golf course before he tees it up in earnest with the guys ranked second and third in FedEx points, Steve Stricker and Zach Johnson, on Thursday. So his caddy's been out here taking a look at the place and crunching the numbers and writing down his little crib book for shortcuts and yardages and whatnot. So I guess we'll find out what Tiger thinks about this place later today after he finishes up his Pro-Am.
Steve, you mentioned the golf course. We're at Liberty National, a visually spectacular course, but pros are already complaining about it. Tell me about it.
All year long, I've been kind of looking forward to this week because I wanted to see what these guys were going to say about this golf course. It's built on this, it's basically a former tank farm for, an oil refinery where for years it was just toxic. They actually had to put down a layer of plastic and cover it up with a bunch of dirt, and there's some super fund money involved in trying to rehab this site. I mean, it was an eyesore to become kind of a dump there towards the end. Supposedly there were a few warehouses on the site that were owned by some famous New Jersey type people who they make TV series on HBO about. So it's an interesting piece of property. They spent $150 million building this golf course, and it is a testament to what you can do with enough bulldozers and enough money. But the players think it's a little bit contrived. It's overcooked. It's narrow in spots. It's pretty punitive in spots. It's right on the it's right on the water. You can see the Statue of Liberty from virtually every position on the entire property. And Ellis Island is out there, and Battery Park is just across the water, the southern tip of Manhattan. You can see the skyline and the gap where the Twin Towers used to be. So then again, that said, it's never a good idea when the best thing that can say, the most constructive thing they can say about the golf course is that it's got great views.
That is the truth. They need to stay focused. Steve, this is the 3rd year of the playoffs. We saw Tiger win in 2007, Vijay Singh win last year with that do-or-die birdie putt. What about the 3rd of the big 3? Although he hasn't played a lot this year, Phil Mickelson making a run at things.
Yeah, Phil's a lot bigger question mark than say Tiger or even Vijay. Vijay actually played pretty well at the PGA and was in contention before his putter went south on him again. So Phil's been kind of sputtering here down the stretch. Barely made the cut at the PGA. One interesting aside is that he's essentially the only guy that knows this golf course. He's a member here, and he's been actually riding the water shuttle across the bay to Manhattan every day to come down and play. I actually saw him getting on it yesterday and talked to him a little bit about the ride back over to his hotel, which is on Manhattan proper. So, he may actually have an advantage in that, there's a little bit of home course knowledge here for him that certainly, as I alluded to earlier, Tiger Woods doesn't have. So maybe we'll see a little bit more out of Phil this week.
We'll see how that works out. Before I let you go, they tweaked the rules so that more people would have a chance at the Tour Championship this year. Does that make things more interesting in your eyes?
Yeah, it makes it more interesting. It also makes it a lot more potentially outrageous. A couple of us last night, Doug Ferguson from the Associated Press and I, were crunching some numbers, kind of extrapolating how this could play out. And there's a scenario, and it's not an entirely implausible scenario. It's a realistic scenario where Tiger Woods could win this week, next week, and the week after, the first 3 playoff events, and not win the FedEx Cup. He could have 8 wins over the course of the season and not win the FedEx Cup. Furthermore, he could actually lose the FedEx Cup to a guy who doesn't have a single win all year long because of the emphasis on points and the reset of the season points heading into the season finale in Atlanta. So is that what you want? I don't know. They seem to try to strike a balance between this thing being a season-long points race that rewards the guy who's played the best the entire year, and yet in another camp it seems like they want it to be a 4-week sweepstakes with a huge slam-bang finish where, hopefully the guy that wins the tournament in Atlanta is also the guy who jointly wins the $10 million bonus. I don't know that you can serve 2 masters on that without creating a bunch of headaches, and I cannot envision a more laughable headache than if Tiger Woods has 8 wins, doesn't win in Atlanta, and doesn't win the FedEx Cup. I think that would be roundly and rightly ridiculed.
All that means is that you have to watch all the action. Catch it on CBS Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Steve Elling, keep us posted. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Lauren.
All right, thank you for watching. I'm Lauren Shehadi. We'll see you real soon.